Welcome to License the Ball. Today on the show we got Riley Cooper update. What's going on? He went back to practice. We got Vince Young signing a 1-year contract with Green Bay Packers. We got Notre Dame giving an update on them and with the predictions on them. We got Johnny Manziel talking about him a little bit. We got Deshaun Tate from Tate's Tate radio show. Going to be getting inside information, get his expertise on what's going on. And we're going to welcome Deshaun Tate from Tate's Take on the show. Hey, how you doing?
Oh, man, what's up, hip-hop, man? What's going on? Appreciate you having me, man.
Doing good, man. This stuff been bananas, man. All this stuff going on in sports, stuff going crazy, man. All this stuff going on, man. You just had a birthday, man. How was your birthday?
Oh, man, birthday was blessed, man. You know what I'm saying, just making 29. I got a lot of homies, man, a lot of people I know who unfortunately don't get to see that age, man, so we just trying to live the dream through them. But nevertheless, man, we're looking at about 360-something odd days. I'm just kind of like counting down to in those 20s, man. So when the big 3-0 happen, man, I'm gonna take you out. We're going to go on a cruise or something, get on the big boy boat, man.
Yeah, we get the big 3-0.
Yeah, next year, man. So I'm just trying to enjoy the last year of my 20s. Just made 29 last Friday, man. So the next 300 and something odd, 360 something odd days, man, of the 20s should be every bit of interested, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I wish I go back to 29 with you, man. Yeah. Man, we're gonna jump right into it, man. The hottest topic out there in baseball, other than A-Rod, is Riley Cooper, man. He came back to practice today and going on, and it seemed like they've been doing a PR control because not everybody seemed to love him and want him back now.
Well, the funny thing about that is, man, I just, looking at some of the off-season headlines of the National Football League, it's just kind of funny because we're so used to seeing, hearing about Tim Tebow every single day, and for once we're not, hearing about Tim Tebow, and then if it's not, Tim Tebow, is the Aaron Hernandez story, and if it's not the Aaron Hernandez, going all the way back, I'm sure that people like Tim Tebow, Aaron Hernandez, and Manti Te'o finally had the opportunity to get, to get the target off of his back for a little bit. So now with it being with Riley Cooper, I'm sure that everybody's happy, that he's back in full effect. But one of the biggest things that kind of caught me by surprise a little bit was the fact that they put him through some sensitivity training, I guess, some kind of counseling along the lines of what I would like to call like supposedly like a racial backlash session or something like that. It's almost hard for me to imagine what kind of counseling that you can give someone determined by, his actions. But overall, it was very uncalled for, I feel, my personal opinion. And it was extremely bad timing. And people not looking at the timing of it, when you start looking at how bad of timing is, that first of all, it's never a good time for his actions and what happened at the Kenny Chesney concert. But regardless of the fact, when you're looking at the actions of it, you got your, Paul Ledeen situation that happened, and following that, the Trayvon Martin case and all that kind of stuff. So I'm sure it certainly doesn't help with all the eyeballs being put on the training camp for the Philadelphia Eagles and Riley Cooper.
Hey, I listened to Tony Dungy on the Dan Patrick show today. He said something else, that he always give a different angle on everything that other people don't see. And he said his number one problem is he think he got a drinking problem.
Well, I mean, it's so easy to say that. I mean, I'm not going to say every NFL player drinks, but I mean, we're talking about grown men here. That's a personal preference if you drink or whatever. I'm not going to necessarily say that it's, a drinking problem. Now, what I would consider a drinking problem, and you have to separate the difference of this, is, judging by his actions and the word that he said, that just kind of come out based off of him drinking and being, a little bit over intoxicated, and just, some people say, hey, when you drink, you speak the truth. And if the truth don't come out no other time, it comes out when you've been drinking. And I don't know if that's the case, or more or less if Riley Cooper is the kind of guy that just walks around and saying stuff like that. Now, I'm going to throw another curveball at you, because that was an extremely good one by Tony Dungy. But, there's been some reports that at one point, he was suspended from all team-related activities and stuff like that. You know, they were talking about, you know, suspending him and possibly even kicking him off the team. But one of the biggest questions that I want to propose to those who are listening, what if this was a Tom Brady, or what if this was an Aaron Rodgers per se, or a Peyton Manning, the guys who actually fill those seats? Are you going to be threatening them with those same kind of actions if they went out and did the exact same thing? Because those guys, being the star quarterback, they're your money makers. They're the ones that are putting butts in those seats, not necessarily your Riley Cooper. So just looking at it from a totally different perspective.
I never thought about it like that, but you and me both know it's a double standard, and they will
absolutely
do it a little bit different. Now, my next question on Riley Cooper is, they have to keep him for this year. Absolutely. Is he done in the league? Is he done?
Well, I mean, in the case that they have to actually keep him, a lot of it has so much to do with the injuries that they have on the offensive side of the ball, and not just that, especially at the wide receiver position. When you're talking about wide receiver, Aurelius Ben, who has a torn ACL, and that was announced on Tuesday. He's out for the season. Demaris Johnson, who's out with a hamstring injury, he's questionable on Tuesday versus the Patriots as well. In addition to Jeremy Maclin, who's out with an ACL, they're getting that repaired as we speak. Obviously, he's going to be out for the remainder of the season as well. But, you know, we couldn't be seeing him as early as Friday, Riley Cooper, that being as early as Friday, taking on the Patriots. And I'm just kind of questioning, will this be a big target on his back now from, some of those safeties and guys that are going to be putting these big-time hits on him as he's, traveling across the middle in that slot, running those routes. Does that add a little extra emphasis? Does that kind of get the safeties and those guys, the tacklers, going a little bit more coming from, some of the actions that he displayed?
I really think so. NFL is the last professional sport where you can pay people back how you want to pay them back.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And you don't have to talk about it. You can do your past to do the talking. So I actually think it's a bounty out for him. This is one thing people don't want to talk. It's another subject. I really personally believe the bounty gate and Saints is scratching the surface. I always said there's bounties out for players in the league, and I think it's a bounty out for him. This under the table type stuff. Now, my next question on this is from him is, I asked you, is he gonna make it in the league? Do you think he a racist? In your heart?
I personally, I think he'll be okay. I think he'll make it. Who knows? By the time the football, season gets started, there's still going to be people talking about him. There's still going to be people talking about the Aaron Hernandez case. As long as, when the Patriots come on TV, there's still going to be people, talking about this matter when Eagles are on. And same thing when the Chargers are on with the Manti Te'o case. I'm not necessarily going to go all the way out and, saying that he's a racist. Personally, I have some Caucasian friends who, walk around and say things at least similar to that, where you have some of those Caucasian guys who talks like African-American guys. This is almost, you're asking for Tate's take, so, I got to keep it real with you at all times. But, that's just the reality of it. And they don't mean anything harmful by it. They don't mean anything like that. There's a big difference in what some people may say. Now, my grandmother may not necessarily agree with you, but there being a big difference between your Nigger and your Nigga. Some people don't necessarily always understand that. I don't expect for my grandmother to understand that.
Two different words.
So from that perspective, I think you do have to look at it at least a little bit differently, but there's still no excuse for what he said at the end of the day.